This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1083 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful, entertaining horsey facts, theories, and advice. Brought to you today by EquestrianCollections.com. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. On today's tip, Hillary Moore-Hebert from Dressage Today magazine joins Dressage radio show co-hosts Reese and Phillip to talk about an article in the February edition of Dressage Today magazine entitled Keep the Free in Freestyle. And we'll get right to today's tip after this from EquestrianCollections.com. Well, Coach Jen here, and I'm with Debbie from Equestrian Collections, and Debbie has the Equestrian Collections Product of the Week. What have you got, Debbie?
Well, this week I am featuring a new product that we have. It's the Trailer Eyes T86 helmet camera. If you've ever been out in a trail ride and you wanted to take pictures and didn't want to have to dig your phone out while you're holding your reins in your teeth, or if you wanted to have a video done while you're jumping, this is the camera for you. And it's only $189.95, so it's less than $200 for this camera. It also has a little watch that comes with it that you can switch it from picture to video and take the pictures from your arm, so you don't have to lift your hand up to take the pictures. It does attach to your helmet. It comes with a helmet attachment, thing that goes around your helmet so that you just put it right on. It's not. I'm got to tell you, I got one, and it does take some figuring out, just like any of these little cameras do. You can download the user manual from our website. When you get the camera, it doesn't come with, I wanted to make that clear, it doesn't come with the user manual. The thing is like 186 pages, but you can download that from our website. Once you get it set up, it's easy to use, and it does take some setting up, and I wanted to be sure that your customers knew that, but it really works well, and it's really fun, and it's very light. It's tiny. It's T90, so it's just really a nice thing to have. I use mine on trail rides, and once you get used to, putting your head a certain way, it takes really good pictures. It does have a Wi-Fi deal where you can, if you have your phone, you can see what the camera is seeing, so you can see what the pictures are, so you can practice a little bit with it, so you know exactly how you should put your head to take the pictures. It's really cool, and it's less than $200, so it's really half the price of some of the other cameras on the market that do the same thing. So take a look at it, and I think it's a really great addition to our website.
Cool. With a wrist remote control, you'll be just like Dick Tracy. Thanks a lot, Debbie.
Hillary Moore-Hebert, the contributing editor from Dressage Today, is on to give us a monthly update on the magazine.
So the last tip that I have is part of the series. It's part 2 about Freestyle, and this one is by Axel Steiner. And I just thought in general it was a really neat discussion about how you judge a freestyle, the evolution of it. And I really liked this part that he talked about where he says the beauty of the freestyle is when a horse and rider have the technical ability not only to ride to music but dance with it, and they should be rewarded in the interpretation of the music. And I just think that it's really interesting how he points that out, and he talks about how, he's seen some really strong freestyles where you have your ear for your music, and you have the ability to ride your horse in a way that you can make quick adjustments to the variations of the music. And it made me think a lot about, this past year I went through with the freestyle all the way to nationals, and it got me to really think about the approach to things. And I know in the past a lot of people were kind of saying, well, why is it that you need to get a qualifying score to do the freestyle? Shouldn't everyone be able to do it? And I think that in the limited experience that I've had with the freestyles, it really is important to have a mastery of the level that you're riding at so that you can make the adjustments. One example being the horse that I took to nationals. He was very spooky in the all-tech arena, and I was familiar enough with the music, and I knew what I had with him to kind of avoid the section of the arena that he was spooking at in a particular direction. And I could adjust my choreography to be able to get those pieces in with getting a stronger, score from it, because I wasn't aiming him at a plant that he was scared of. Instead, I could alter it, and then get a higher technical difficulty score. But, I knew my music, I knew the requirements of the level, and it wasn't something where it's like the first time that I'm doing extended trot, for example. So I just thought it was, really important that he pointed that out, because I think it's, to me, the essence of what freestyle is above anything else.
Well, and that's true. When you have the technical aspect for the freestyle, it works so much better. And whenever we're working on a 4th level freestyle right now with one of my students, and, freestyles evolve. And I think sometimes as you ride them and you'd have to take the risk, for example, we were trying to do some changes on a serpentine line. And honestly, we tried for a week to get it. And my client just couldn't get it. And we just decided, you know what, that's not a risk we want to take. We're going to keep them on the same, we put it back on a diagonal line, a little different than the test. But you could tell I was so worried about getting the changes on a serpentine loop that the quality was really going down. So, I think that's, as you work on freestyles and as you develop them, you have to be comfortable at the level, and you have to be able, what risks can you not take and what can you take? And it's a fun game, but it is a little bit of a game, like what's going to work, what's not going to work. And I think they're amazingly fun. We'll speak with Devin Kane about her freestyle later in the show, and it's great to hear how she designed it and the risks that she took and the music that she picked and really how she dances to it. So that's the beauty of the freestyles.
Yeah,
well,
you've really got to be. Oh, sorry, Hillary. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say really quick, I like to, if you guys ever watch those movies, it's always about figure skating, but there's always like the one move you have that if you go into the ring and you know that you're really confident and your horse feels on, that you can do it. And that, I think, is one of the fantastic things, is being so good, whether it's, figure skating or doing the level of dressage that you're at, that say your horse is on, maybe later in the season, you could do changes on the serpentine, and that's like your one move that would make the Lifetime movie.
Yeah. It's true.
I like that thought. Yeah, I was just going to say, you have to be more than proficient at, you can't go into a freestyle with a weak point, right? Because it's not going to work. You have to really feel confident, and that gives you the ability to be able to dance with your horse a little bit, because you're very confident about every movement that you're going to go and do, and that you can execute it. If you're a little weak in this or that, it's just not going to work. You're going to be really worried about that one movement. It's coming up, the music's coming up, you ride tentatively. You can get away with it a little bit in the technical test, but definitely not in a freestyle. It just gets in your head too much, and it gets, and then you're holding the horse back, and the horse gets frustrated. It can ruin all that stuff that really is a highlight for you. You got to show what's good, and then you got to show what's great. Nothing that's below that kind of a level. So, I like that point, and it's good to have a discussion about it.
Well, there you have it. You can find links to today's guest as well as more tips at horsetipdaily.com. And don't forget, you can have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go with the free Horse Radio Network app for iPhone or Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network, or you can subscribe via iTunes. This podcast was made possible through the generous support of EquestrianCollections.com and listeners like you. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.